right, good morning folks. So it is Saturday. These guys are about 3 weeks of age. As you can see, they're ready to get out. So today's kind of a big day for them. We're going to move them out to pasture today. But I want to take a chance to show you guys their brooder setup. It's just a super simple hoop building that I made. Take some hog panels, sandwich them between a couple 2x6s, a little bit of lawn on the ends to keep them down in, with a combination of sawdust and pine shavings for bedding, and keep piling that on throughout the duration of their brooding time. And I got a fan over here. We had some warm days early on in their life cycle. We had a major heat wave come through and actually took out some of the birds. This is my first time brooding them outdoors, so there's been a little bit of a learning curve to it. But I think I've got some of the stuff behind us now. The weather has changed. It's starting to cool off a little bit. And I'll be a lot more ready for our next batch next year. This is going to be, like I said, the final batch before the season, really changes. But yeah, these guys are getting ready to go outside. It's going to be a really good day for them whenever they get on grass. So I'm excited to get them out. The black chicks that you see in there, those are some extra layer hens that we purchased, and they lay those dark chocolate brown eggs. So we wanted to get some of those. We thought that would be neat to have. But they're probably going to stay here in this brooder for a few more weeks. They'll just have a lot more room to themselves. There's 6 of those. And I believe I'm down to, I think, 111 Cornish cross chicks. We started at 127. So I've already lost roughly 16 birds. I lost 8 in that heat wave in one day. It was awful. I felt terrible about it, but it happened, and all I can do is learn from it and move on. So I'm gonna get these guys fed, get them some fresh water, and then that'll be their last time being fed in here, and they're going out to pasture here around lunchtime. Okay, you guys ready? Let me in there with you. Hold on. Hold on. Ready. So one thing I'm trying to improve upon this batch of birds is having more feeder space for them. I have 3 of these 4-foot long sections here. These ones here are 3-foot long in the center. I have 2 of those. So once they move out into their 25 by 25 run out on grass, I'm going to include more feeders. So this is the most congested they'll be for a while. Once I get them out, like I said, there'll be 2 additional feeders out there on the grass for them. That way there's a little less competition at the feeder. They can eat their fill and hopefully result in a larger carcass at the end of the 8 weeks. Go down here past the pigs. I'm sure they're getting ready to eat this morning. I haven't fed them yet. They're next on my list. They got an upgrade. They were just shy of a week ago. They got an expansion to their lot, and I'm going to do a video kind of showing containment options for pigs, because this is the new containment system for these pigs. That is a single wire, and it's probably 10 inches off the ground. And so far, they don't mess with it. It has been great, super easy to set up, obviously, with just running one wire around some posts. And I absolutely love it. They're going to end up getting another little paddock set up down below as a result. I don't have to mess with these nets. The nets are nice and all. It's more, I think, mentally secure for me. I feel like they're going to stay in more with that. But this has been working great. I've seen some other guys doing this, and I decided finally, you know what, I'm going to try it. And it has worked without a hitch so far. But anyway, we are headed out here a piece. And the birds are going to start their journey right here next to these couple poles I've got in. They're going to get a 25 by 25 paddock set up here. And I'm going to bring that little cover shelter down. It's on wheels. I'm going to wheel it down here. This is where our batch was of Cornish earlier in the year, and this, as a result, is my best looking pasture. The grass here is super lush. I see they are fertilizing machines, and I'm hoping to get the same results here on the lower end. Have them run through here, fertilize it extra well, and hopefully, like I say, it helps develop this pasture here for whenever my sheep come through. So we've got different species working together in harmony to make the whole system work, you know, as well as we can. So I'm anxious to get them out here and get them on grass, and I'm going to bring you along and let you see, you know, how they do their first day on. All right, now that I have my 4 corners in, I'm going to take and unroll this 100-foot of chicken netting out and make a perimeter around the corners, making sure that my corner is oriented so that I can open it up into their next paddock, which is going to be a 25-foot square on the lower end. All right, so this first post, we're going to step in here next to one of these sturdier corner posts, and then we're going to tie it off. And that's just so we have something rigid to pull against as we're stepping out the remaining posts in the run of net. With these corner posts, we don't really have to worry so much about where our corners land. Just simply loop the net around it. That way you can put your corner at any given point. You don't have to worry about where these support posts land in relation to your corner. All right, here we are back to square one. We've now made our way the whole way around the perimeter. And I'll now tie both of these together. As well as connect the 2 fence ends together electrically. They have little metal retaining clips on each end, and you simply push them together like this. You'll notice we've got a bunch of quick splices repairing this fence. I had a sheep get hung up in it several months ago, and we had to cut her out of the fence. Luckily, this stuff is somewhat easily repaired once you get it untangled. All right, folks, so this will be the chickens' first paddock for their pasture move. Like I said, they'll have this shade structure and also keep them out of the rain. And then, like I said, they'll move down on the lower end on another 25-foot square. So all I'll do, I do my whole rotation off of 2 100-foot sections of this Premier 1 fencing. I'll set it up down here where it also has an opening. Only thing I got to make sure is I'm going to make my corner up here as well so that I can open the next paddock to let them down in, as well as be able to open that same section of fencing to let them into their third paddock, which will be forward from the second. What we having, Dylan? Are we having pork chops and potatoes and green beans?
Okay, that makes sense.
Sound good? Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so we just got some dinner in our bellies, and we're gonna get these chickens moved now. They're starting to break out of the brooder. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill up some of these troughs to set inside of their run. So as we put them in, they've got feed already sitting there. They're not trying to break out. I was supposed to have another fence charger delivered today. It didn't happen. That's what I've been waiting for. So they're going to go in without a fence charger, I think. We're going to see how they do. But I want to make sure I have food ready for them so that as soon as they go in, they're not immediately challenging the fence. So we're going to get these filled up. These troughs you buy from Stromberg's, they're like 20 bucks a piece. If anybody's been looking at the Premier One stuff, their troughs are like $60 each. I just can't see that. That to me is insane. I couldn't justify that at all. You can pick these up for 20 bucks, get 3 of these for the price of one of the Premier One ones. I know Premier One makes premium products, but I mean, come on, guys, $60 for a U-shaped piece of aluminum. I know they're anodized, but I mean, let's get over ourselves already. Okay, so we already have a couple escape artists. There's one in behind the brooder as well. So I'm going to start loading these guys up into these crates, and I'm going to get a head count as I'm loading them. I have an idea how many I think there are given our loss numbers, but I'm going to put them in 20 at a time into these crates and then start taking them way over to where we have the fence set up. Okay, there is 60 happy birds out on pasture. About 50 more to go. Okay guys, that is 110 Cornish cross out on pasture. I gotta get their water out here yet, but everybody's out here getting accustomed to their new home. I personally would like to thank number 37 for making a complete mess out of my getup. It's awful nice of that one to do it early too, so that I had to unload the rest of them with a mess all over me. But if you guys aren't into that, nobody's into it, but if you can't handle it, this is probably not for you, because you gonna get dirty. It's just part of it. That's just the way it is. But nonetheless, these guys are out and they're happy, and I think it's just awesome seeing them on grass where they can forage and start being normal chickens. All right guys, it's now the next day. I thought I'd walk you out here. It's about lunchtime, get a look at the chicks and see how they're doing after an evening to settle in. I just got done moving the sheep, so I'm headed back out with water for them. But thought we'd stop here real quick on our way through to close this video out and show you how they're looking. As you can tell, they have taken to the shade structure. Got some out hanging out underneath the water, but overall they're doing well, moving around good. I was really concerned about leg issues with some of these guys. It's not as bad, I guess, as I thought. Now that they're out here on grass running around, they say they're looking a little better and happy and healthy. All right, so if you guys are interested in this, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you comment and consider subscribing, we're going to grow these guys out. Like I say, we're raising these for customers, so this is stuff you're interested in. You know, regenerative agriculture, healthier, animals, non-GMO feed. That's what we're doing here. So follow us and come along for the ride. And like I said, I'd love to have you check out what we're doing.